All right, we're going to pick up where we left off with going into the syllabus video number 2. And again, we were talking about just looking at the syllabus and making sure you review the syllabus, because that right-hand column has when everything is due, and the other parts tell you what class meeting it is and kind of what we're going to be covering in that class meeting with these videos. You'll notice we do have off Monday the 25th. That's Memorial Day, so we won't have anything to do that day. Leading into that next week, or that week, is the mock interviews. So that we really won't have any videos for you to watch during that time. But the big thing is you'll be preparing for your mock interview and signing up for a day where you'll actually do the mock interview. And there's on Moodle in the top box, there is a place where you can sign up for that mock interview. There's boxes corresponding with half-hour increments, and in each one you just type in your name and that'll be yours. If you do need to change, please let me know. Don't just go in and change, because I'm going off of, I'll probably at one set point in time I'll shut her down, or take a look at it, and that'll be kind of when I'll be expecting you. And if you go in and change, particularly at the last minute, you're putting me and you in a tough spot, because I won't be ready for your change, and especially when I have somebody, a professional, that's going to join us for the interview. So make sure, if you do need to change, let me know, and preferably give me more time than less, because I'm trying to book people to help you and give you a good experience with interviewing and learning about the professional interview, but also giving you a chance to network with some professionals that are out there, so, and in the area that you're interested in working. So that's something you'll need to sign up for. If you go back up here, you'll see that you need to sign up for that by, let's see, that I think is the 18th. Yeah, access the Google Doc to sign up for the mock interview. So you need to do that by the 18th. But again, it's first come, first serve. So if you want to go in there right now and do it, you can do that. It's available to you. You'll also notice below that there's a link for the mock interviews. That'll be the Zoom link that we use. Ask that you try to get into that Zoom link about 10 minutes before the interview. That way, it's kind of, you'd like to be 10 minutes early for an interview. So that would be a good way to make sure that your system works, as well as make sure that you're ready whenever we bring you into the interview. Portfolios, one thing that we're building off of is the artifacts that you've created through the different classes. And when I say artifacts, it's just basically materials that you created that show your skills. So if you created a budget in 490, or you created an evaluation, or you did a risk management plan for one of your class, those things will help you and help the employer see skill sets that you have, and that's important. But we just using it in LinkedIn, and you can just upload it into LinkedIn, and everything's right there, and makes it nice and simple. Basically, LinkedIn is your resume. You just got to make it attractive and include some artifacts, and you got a simple form and free form to market yourself to professionals. Exit exam, as I mentioned before, is that exam that you take to see how well you know the material that we've covered over the course of the 4 years that you were here. It hits all the classes that you had that were required for RSM, and it, you took an entrance exam at the beginning, you take an exit exam at the end, and actually we do a comparison for overarching everybody and see how we're doing preparing you and preparing the students as they move forward. And then the final exam is on June 3rd, exit exams June 2nd. If you don't pass the exit exam and passing is 70% or above, then you have to retake it. Now, as I mentioned before, some of you are planning on graduating in the spring. You may not have all the classes you need to do the exit exam, and what I'll do is, don't panic, I'll give you an incomplete and you'll come back in November, take the exit exam when you have all the classes that you need, and then I'll get you a grade for this class. But it really won't impact you any means other than you just won't have a grade for this class until November. All right. What all you have to do? Like I said, it's class is worth a lot of points, but those points are all going to things that are benefiting you. The 150 points, that's all resume. I'll take a look at your resume and cover letter twice. Give you feedback on the first time. Your peers will give you feedback on the first time. You resubmit, and hopefully you have something that you're really happy with to send out as a representation of yourself. Application for graduation, something you got to do anyway. I'm giving you points for it. Career vision plan. We'll talk a little bit more about that and kind of show you an example of what that looks like. But again, it's taking where you are now to where you want to get in the future as a professional, and helps give you kind of a roadmap to help you get there. Internship. You have to post 5 internship opportunities that you find on a discussion board. Everybody else in the class is doing that. I think there's 10 of you in there, so you're going to have potentially 50 different internship sites that you could potentially apply for over the course of our time. You have to apply to 4. Each one's worth 25 points, so you get a total of 100 points there. Your electronic portfolio that you update, and again, marketing tool for yourself, 100 points. The mock interview, 100 points. Final exam, potentially 100 points for that. Exit exam, 50. You'll write internship goals and objectives. So one of the first things your internship site supervisor is probably going to ask for, and one of the first things we ask for when you go out and do your internship, is what do you want to accomplish through this internship? And so we would ask you to create 5 different goals, and then based upon those goals, create 5 objectives, and that's worth 25 points. Since you have to do the exit exam and the final exam online, I give a practice exam just to make sure that you're got everything worked out with the kinks before you actually get into those important ones. And then so that all comes out to 1,000 points, and there's a grade breakdown for you there. We do a little bit something different, trying to make it practical and when you're thinking about what the grade is that you got. So we say that, if you're in the A range, you're probably hireable at this point. So you get an A on your resume, and then it's pretty good shape. You're ready to get it out there, and you're probably a pretty good chance of getting it looked at. Then potential hire is that B range, where it may not be quite as polished on that resume. There might be some fix-ups that you need to do, decisions you need to make, but it's pretty close. And then you may pass the screening, but you know what? You're probably not going to be selected if you're in that C range. And that other one, not considered, and you're not even close to being hireable in that F range. And so we want to make it so that you understand where you're going to be compared to others as you go out. And we try to grade everything, and I say we because other people teach this class, but we try to grade everything so that you have an understanding of where you would be and how your work is compared to other professionals. And then getting into the assignments. So I said you have a resume and a cover letter that you have to do. The resume and cover letter, you're going to actually, I'll ask you to submit this in Moodle. There's a workshop, and when you put it into that workshop, you put your resume and cover letter in, and then what I can do is I can share it out with 2 other people from the class. And so you're going to review 2 other people's, and then 2 other people are going to review yours. And the idea is that you're looking at other people's resumes, you're starting to look at it from a professional standpoint, but then you can also find things that maybe you could do differently on your resume because you like what somebody else did that you had a chance to view. So we're going to give you an opportunity, and the idea is that you give honest feedback to them. And so in that workshop, you'll have an opportunity to provide that feedback to them. Okay? And give them an idea. So you're graded that first one on not only your resume and cover letter, but also how well you do give feedback to others and how helpful that feedback is that you're giving to others. But it's important for workshop to work is that you have to make sure that you submit it on time. If you miss the deadline, you don't get to review other people's, and they don't get to review yours, and there you're losing points. So make sure that you get it in on time, and that deadline for resumes and cover letters, that first draft is, let's see, right there, that first Thursday of the class. Okay, so make sure you get your material in so that you'll have a chance to review others and they can review yours. And again, it's part of the learning process. We're hoping that you're helping somebody else, but also helping yourself. As I mentioned, you're going to have video quizzes, just like this video. There's questions embedded in this, and the idea is you go through and answer those questions. You show that you watch the videos, and you get credit for basically attendance and participation, and you get 135 points towards that. But it's also the way that I can get material to you. Grad application, you have to go into self-service and just apply for graduation. If you're graduating in the spring, that'll be something else that'll be part of your incomplete. And once you have access to apply for May graduation or May graduation next year, then we'll make sure to get you taken care of there. The video or the career vision plan board and presentation. We used to do this as a writing assignment, but what we found is students just didn't get it, and it didn't come up very well visually to them. And so what we're trying to do now is create a vision plan so that you can see ideally how you're progressing and what you need to do and kind of some of where your weak areas are. So we can do this two ways. I know for the in-class we make them do a visual board kind of on a poster board. You can do it on a PowerPoint, but the idea is that you start with your first slide or the bottom of your sheet with where you are now. So what skills do you have, what experiences, that's kind of your current state. And at the top of the page or the last slide is a job description for that dream job that you want. What do you want to do, which would be kind of the apex of your career. And then we have to look at what do we need to do to get from where we are now to that end point where we want to be. And so we have to, starting point, looking at jobs descriptions of entry-level positions in our field, internships. How well do we connect those current skills to those experiences in that job? How well do we, what about current professionals that we have who can be references or do recommendations for us, and providing their names and contact information. Looking at, and as you're doing this for this class, is you'll have to present this to us and talk through this material for us. What are your professional values? We're going to talk about values here in the next day or two. What are your professional values? What do you see as being important and significant? Because that's going to guide a lot. And then what current skills do you have to have for that dream job? And that's where you look at the job description and look at, okay, what skills am I lacking? What skills do I need to develop? And kind of come up with a plan of how you're going to develop those plans. And that's where we get into those action steps. So that'll be kind of I think it's a lot of times an eye-opening part of the project, so that you can see, gosh, you know what? I got to develop these skills to get to where I want to be. And then I mentioned you have to find 5 internship sites and post them on Moodle. You can't overlap and duplicate. Each one's worth 20 points. Comes out to 100 total points. And we'll stop there and come back here in a second.